Hello everyone and welcome to SwitchUp. Today we are going to be having a look at the recently released Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions, as we were contacted by the team behind the game to see if we would give it a go and let you know what it's all about. Now, being a huge fan of the Rocky franchise, I certainly didn't need asking twice and have been playing it extensively since, and yes, I may have shouted Adrian at the top of my voice once or twice while playing whilst nobody else is home, but we'd all do that, wouldn't we? Or is that just me? What's it all about? Well, let's find out. So Big Rumble Boxing is of course based on the Creed film series, which itself is a spin-off of the Rocky franchise. Now, my history with the Rocky franchise goes back a long way. I can honestly say that if you add up the number of times I've seen the 6 Rocky films, it would honestly stretch into the hundreds. But I never watched Creed though. But with this game on the horizon, and after hearing many positive comments about the film in one of our recent videos, I watched it and I'm quite annoyed with myself for waiting this long. When a version of Bill Conti's Going the Distance kicked in during the big fight at the end, it was a special moment, I must say. And as if to make up for lost time, I watched the sequel straight after. They are fantastic films. So onto the game itself then, and you have the main mode, which is arcade mode. Here you have an initial choice of 10 fighters, most of whom are from the Creed films, and you have characters such as Adonis Creed himself, as well as Leo Sperino, Ricky Conlon, and of course Victor Drago, to name a few. Rocky Balboa is also available from the start, and there are 10 more fighters to unlock by making your way through each of the characters' arcade mode or by playing in versus mode, which we'll touch on a bit more later. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid I used to love unlocking characters in fighting games. I was always left a little disappointed if I bought a game and the full roster was available from the start. I loved having something to work for, seeing which other characters were in the game and putting the time in to unlock them, and in Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions, knowing that characters such as Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang and Ivan Drago are in there waiting for me to unlock was huge motivation to go through everyone's story. You'll also unlock alternate costumes from the films as you go, and you can switch between these on the fighter select screen. The arcade mode itself tells the story of whichever boxer you choose as you discover the legend behind their rise to the top, as the game puts it. This is shown through still image interactions between the key characters to that story, and then of course interspersed with the appropriate boxing matches as and when the story calls for them. Rocky's, for example, begins with the matches with Apollo as he retells the story to Adonis, before moving through a mix of other fights from the film series and a few more thrown in as Rocky retells stories not from the movies. Let's get into the actual fighting then, and control wise you control your fighter with either the left stick or the D-pad. You're not only able to move around the ring of course, but you are also able to sidestep in order to avoid your opponent's punches. Pressing the Y button in conjunction with the D-pad allows you to perform a number of different combinations, and you can also combo into your power moves, which are used by pressing X and again a combination of the D-pad. Your health bar is displayed at the top of the screen, and depleting your opponent's bar will lead to you knocking them down. Be sure of course to keep an eye on yours, otherwise it will be you that suffers this fate. A good way to prevent this though is to be aware of your defensive options. You can dodge by pressing B, perform a slip counter by pressing ZR at the precise moment your opponent lands a punch, or guard by holding ZR. You do have a guard meter which will drain the more you block, as you would expect, and once it's empty you will be left dazed, not only unable to guard but you will also be unable to move, so time your use of guard well. If you do get knocked down you will need to tap the Y button in order to get back up before the count of 10. 3 knockdowns across the whole bout will turn your health bar red, and 1 more knockdown will lead to a knockout, although of course knockouts can occur before this point too. As well as that guard meter, you have a super meter. This will fill whenever you hit or get hit, and once full you can unleash your super move by pressing ZL, and these are different for each character. You are immune to damage whilst performing a super punch, so unleashing it as your opponent is throwing a punch is good practice and a surefire way of landing that hit. I had one particularly epic battle or series of battles with Ivan Drago. After losing 4 times in a row, some pretty convincingly, some not so much, I was starting to question whether Rocky IV had been lying to me for all these years.
What's happening out there? He's winning.
But a 5th match tied at 2 knockdowns apiece saw me put him down for the count with a 3rd knockdown. It was edge of the seat stuff by that point. Of course it wouldn't be a game from the Rocky universe without some training montages thrown in, and the game duly delivers on this front. During arcade mode you will have training minigames which involve timing particular button prompts at the right moment or keeping in a rhythm whilst the character carries out a training drill, from the more conventional treadmill or punch in the bag to Rocky's tried and tested hitting a meat carcass in a walk-in freezer. Versus mode allows you to play against either a friend in local multiplayer or against the AI, picking any of the fighters you have unlocked and choosing a venue from those featured in the films. I mentioned briefly earlier how versus mode can also help you unlock those extra characters, and this comes via an unlock bar. Each win will help you to fill this bar, and when it is full, the next unlockable character will be revealed. However, to fully unlock them, you must then defeat them in the ring. This franchise is of course very well known for some of its incredible iconic musical scores, and songs from both series soundtracks can be heard in the game. You'll hear The Fire from The Roots, Gonna Fly Now, composed by Bill Conti of course, and even Eye of the Tiger is included and plays during the training minigame as you prepare Rocky to rematch with Clubber Lang. I thought this was a very nice touch. The fights include commentary using voice acting, except for those that take place in the street, which is a fairly regular occurrence as the arcade mode takes you on a path of each fighter's journey both in and out of the ring at times. You can pick Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions up for £31.49 on the eShop, and regional equivalents are on your screen now. If you are a fan of physical collecting for your Switch like me, then you'll be pleased to hear that there is a physical release of the game available too. I've had a lot of fun with Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions. It's arcadey and over the top action, but with a fair few nuances to the moves, meaning that you'll need to acquaint yourself with defending as much as attacking, or learning when to throw that super punch at the right moment. And the roster of characters from both the Rocky and Creed series means that fans will see a lot of their favourite faces. Plus, whenever you hear Eye of the Tiger, tell me you don't jump up and start doing some shadow boxing on the spot, or is that just me again? A big thank you to the team behind Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions for sponsoring this video. As I said, it is available now on the eShop. There'll be links in the top pinned comment if you do want to purchase the game. A big thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.